Ooh. We're telling your followers that you started a live. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hi. Girl, I thought you had plans. What up, Murph? Hey, everybody. I'm just waiting for Miss Kenya to hop on. Okay, I'm really excited about my sponsor spotlight. So happy to have you on board as a sponsor. Yes, Miss Georgia Stitch, okay? I know I just hopped on early because, I'm in the sticks and I want to make sure that my connection is good, okay? Right? How I look with my color out there. Like, I'm sort of busting out of my shirt, but it's all good. A little cleavage never hurt nobody, right? Okay. Also, oh, Miss Kenya.
Hey, Tasha.
Hi, girlfriend. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you see me? Okay.
I can see you. Yes. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Can you see me?
Happy Friday to you. Yeah, I can see you. I'm just trying to situate my phone
Hi,
here.
Angel. I almost threw on an animal print too. Is that an animal print you got on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yes. Wait,
Yes.
can we see that rack behind you? What is that rack of
Oh,
gorgeousness back there?
yes, these are all my designs.
Hi,
I'm going to add
Trey.
some more this week. Hey,
Yes, yes. You know what?
Trey.
Listen, if you can fit it, I can rent it, right? Because we have a sneaker bowl coming up. Shout out to
Oh, you
Curvaceous.
do?
That's in December. So
All
let's
right.
show you that.
All right. Sure. Yes, you can. You definitely can reach out to me if you want an outfit or if you want to rent one. We
Yes,
can
I
talk.
want to rent something because my time is limited. I can't commit to that custom fit responsibility. I'm gonna just put that out there. Okay, so for those tuning in, I just want to say that Kenya is one of the sponsors for the Now What podcast, Navigating Life in Your 40s. And one of the special things about my sponsors is everybody is a 40 plus year old entrepreneur. Some may be in their 50s, like Miss Kenya, but you look amazing, girl. And it's not about that. The
Why you telling my age?
you know what? Listen, we embrace it, right? You want me to tell
Yes,
people I'm
I'm embracing it.
we
Yes.
embracing it. Because you know what? Sometimes I'll say it and then you be like, but Tasha, I'm not in my 40s. And I'm like, girl, it's not about that. Okay. You 40 plus.
Right.
So it's one of my entrepreneurs, and I just wanted to go live with her and have a sponsor spotlight. So we're gonna learn all about Miss Georgia Stitch. So my first question off the rip is, before I even ask you a question, introduce yourself to everybody out there that don't know who you are and what you do, please.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tasha, for having me on your podcast and part of everything that you do. I feel like I'm a part of everything you do anyway. So from the time I've met you.
You are.
Yeah. So um well, my name is Kenya. I'm the owner of Georgia Stitch, and I produce or I make custom made clothing for women who want to go to weddings, who have a special occasion, be it a birthday party, a prom, or a banquet of some sort. So basically, I make custom made evening wear and bridal wear for women. So yeah, that's what I do. And I've been in
First
business
off,
for officially I've been in business for 8 years. However, I've been in
huh?
the industry for over 15. Right. So yeah, I have some experience under my belt here. So yeah.
Yes, you already know you my entrepreneur inspiration over there, girlfriend.
No
So
stop.
yes, you are. You are.
You know
You
you
are.
always been my she rule.
You already know
That's
what
what we
we
was going
do.
to get.
If you can make a living out of what you do and enjoy it, to me, that equals success. It can pay
Yeah,
for the lifestyle that you want to have right now. That to me is successful,
absolutely.
Period. Period.
Yeah.
Your makeup
Yeah.
looks snatched, honey. I just put on
Oh,
lipstick,
thank
but I
you.
see it. Yeah, okay.
Oh, thank you. I didn't put on nothing. I just put a little something, something on.
I see a little something, something on there. Okay. And hoop gang, right? It's all about the
Yes,
hoops.
the who game, yes. But you know how I am with you. I can't show up half anyway with you. I always gotta come with my A game with you.
Yes, yes, you do. So, first and foremost, a lot of people think that your name is Georgia. Can you please tell everyone how you came up with the name for your company?
Well, basically, Georgia Stitch just came up because I lived on Georgia Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, in East New York. So, and at the time when I started my business, I was basically just doing like, um, I want to say custom made work as far as show me a garment and I'll make it for you. And then I went to doing design, my own items and my own dresses. So that's how Georgia Stitch, the stitch part came in with that part. But Georgia was the street that I lived on, and I just added Stitch just to kind of combine it. And I tried to change the name, but I feel like Georgia Stitch has more of a unique tone to it. No one has it, and it stands out. So no, my name is not Georgia, and I'm not from Georgia. It is Kenya Percy.
Yes, the clarification. Because they be like,
Yeah,
that's
so it's
Georgia.
Georgia Stitch by Kenya Kersey. So
Right,
that's
right,
it.
right. And I love it.
Right.
And funny you mentioned that because you did try to change your name a few times, and I'm like, Kenya, I am not feeling that. Georgia Stitch is where it
Absolutely.
is. It's
Yeah,
unique.
absolutely.
It is what you do, and I'm like, that just fits. Let them call you Georgia all day, every day.
Yeah, whatever.
Right,
As long
exactly.
as you don't call me out my name, I'm good.
So, hello, put a miss in front of it.
What?
Can you just share with us the process of getting a custom made design by Georgia Stitch, and what are the responsibilities of the customer?
Oh, okay. So, and if you want a item made by me, I've changed. I've evolved so many times. So now, whereas you can bring me a picture of something that you want, and I would make it almost exactly like you want it made, or like the picture. Now it's like if you bring me a picture, I'm using it for inspiration, and I'm taking that inspiration and I'm going to kind of match it with my design. So I'm giving you a design and I'm asking you during a consultation, because that's the first thing you would have to do. You would have to schedule a consultation with me, and then we'll sit down and we'll talk about your design, and I'll come up with something that I've designed, but I'll add in those elements that you love. So if you come with a picture, you want a big sleeve, or you want your back out or whatever, I'll just incorporate it with our designs. This way I can say, oh, this was actually made by Georgia Stitch. So
Mhm.
that's the process with that. Once we decide on the design, I take your measurements. We talk about budget, see what you can afford, and or see what you're willing to pay, because a lot of times people pay what they can't afford or afford what they can't pay, So, and what I
Yeah.
mean by that is, you have people who have a lot of money, but they might not necessarily want something custom because of the price of it, but it doesn't mean
Mhm.
that they can't afford it. That
Right.
just might mean maybe they don't see the value in getting
Mhm.
something custom made. But then you have those who know they shouldn't be at my door. They know they can't afford me, but they come anyway. And those people, I say, they pretty much most of the times those individuals are usually individuals who is usually a special occasion, like it's a prom, it's a wedding. So to them, that's the biggest thing for them as far as their life or their life journey. So wedding, a
Mhm.
prom, that's the thing. So yeah. So
Yes.
once we discuss price, then I go and get the material. Oh, of course, we sign a contract. Contracts are very
Speak
important
about
because
that contract. Yes, contracts are very
contracts are
important
so
when you're getting
important.
custom.
Yes, in any
Tell us
business,
why.
period. Because if you're having a conversation, a lot can be misinterpreted in the conversation. A lot of details can get lost. I could say we can discuss one thing. 2 weeks later, I can come back and be like, well, this is what you wanted. And you're like, no, I don't want that. I didn't want that. But if
Mm-hmm.
I have it in writing, then we can go back to the paper and be like, okay, well, this is what we discussed.
Paper trail.
Exactly. This is what you signed. And, and then this way it also covers myself. It covers
Mm-hmm.
me as well as you. So the customer gets what they want. And at the same token, it covers me for any liability, um, legal situations. I don't want to ever be taken to court.
I was
So
just about
yeah,
to ask you that. Have you ever appeared in court?
no,
Knock on wood. Thank God.
no, no. And let me tell you, if
Because
anybody
we
wants
are
to
in
take
the
me to
sue
court,
culture, okay? People
yes,
will sue your ass.
in a second. If anyone wants to take me to court, they will see. I will have my I's dotted and T's crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to have that paper trail.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and then once we do measurements, we take measurements. I do fittings. We do a couple of fittings, and then that's pretty much it. Then the garment is done. It takes usually about, depending on what you want, it could take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, or
Uh-huh.
anywhere from 3 to 6 months, depending on what you want.
Okay, great. And I like that you spoke about the price. I think that often people figure that they can buy something off the rack. It's not essentially what they want, right? But
Hmm.
for some reason, they think that custom made is going to be cheaper. I don't even understand why they think that. Why do they have that thought in mind? But because when you think about the time and the prep and every little step that it takes to get something custom made from start to finish, like it's not someone in a factory sewing duplicates of this same sweater and you just buy it
Right.
and don't think that's it. It
Yeah,
goes way
exactly.
beyond it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Um, so I'm glad that
What's
you
the
asked the
difference
question.
between, yeah, what's the difference between off the rack versus a custom made fit?
Basically, to me, off the rack is something that you just can go. They have certain sizes. You try on your dress or whatever the outfit. If that size fits you, it fits you. If not, you go down a size, you go up a size. With custom made, I'm actually taking your measurements and I'm actually making a garment according to your body measurements.
Right.
Not only that, I'm giving you my expertise. I'm telling you what fits you and what doesn't. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making sure that what you're purchasing looks great on you, and that's
Mm-hmm.
very important. That's very key. I'm introducing you. I'm just giving you a lot of my expertise and a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas off the rack, even if you go to like the high end stores, let's say Saks or whatever, you do get that customer service. You get like
The
top
tailoring. Mm-hmm.
customer service,
Yeah.
and when you're doing custom made, it's the same thing. You're getting that top notch service. You're getting that person who is making sure every stitch is right. You're getting quality. Whereas if you get it off the rack, it might not necessarily be the best quality. You're getting items that are techniques. I think a lot of times people don't realize this. They think, oh, because I've had people at the beginning of my journey, I've had
Mm-hmm.
people come to me and ask me to make something for them, and they'll say, "Oh, well, you're charging me $600, but if I purchase it, it's only going to cost me $200." So,
And it's going to look like, right,
yeah,
right. And the reason why you're coming
exactly.
to me is because you bought that $200 dress already, and it did
Right,
not look like said picture
right,
on the internet. And it
right.
looked even worse when you put it on your
When
body.
you put it on, exactly, exactly. Or they just realize, I don't know. I think it's just that I think people believe that when you get it made, it's cheaper. I
Mm-hmm.
guess because their mama and them used to make clothes, their auntie and them used to make clothing. What I'm saying, they high
But shout
school
out to the
friends.
aunties and the mommies that help us make those
They
garments
just
for the
but I
family.
understand. And of course, they're not gonna charge you, the
Right,
neighborhood
right.
teacher is not gonna charge you that much anyway, because a lot of times they usually are older women who have retired and they don't really have they just like, okay, I'll make it for you. Exactly, right. So when you come to me, Mark, and I've always get this from a lot of my customers, they always say, oh, this looks store bought. So to me, that's
it's
a compliment.
supposed to.
Yeah, it's supposed to. I don't want you to I don't want it to look like your mama and they made it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want it to look professional. You know what I'm saying? I want it to look like you did get it off at Saks, or you did get it at Neiman's or whatever. That's what I'm giving you. That's the expertise or the quality that I'm giving you. So yeah.
Absolutely. So I think right now, even though it's October, one of the biggest seasons in like custom made designs are coming up, and that is prom, right? I feel like that is one of the biggest seasons for custom made industry. And tell us all about that process. Like, you have to literally start now. Okay, tell us about those prom candidates.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I am taking prom clients now because I want to get started.
I've been posting yes.
Basically, to be quite honest with you, with my prom clients, I really have a lot. I haven't done a lot of prom clients, but the ones that I have done, it's pretty easy. When I first started doing it, when I first started, of course, I wasn't charging a lot of money, so I would get lunch and wouldn't be able, I would finish them, but I would have to bring your parent with you. It's the same process. If you're bringing me something, a lot of times I'm going to ask you to change it, because you will have individuals who will come to me and they'll give me a picture or send me a picture of this individual who might be a size 2, and the customer themselves is very curvy, and you like, I'm
right.
like, baby, this ain't gonna look right on you, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say, well, let's try something this, and then also too, I'm like a big advocate. Like, I always tell my prom clients, like, if I make this for you, somebody else at your prom might have this on. So let's change it up. Let's do something different, so it can be unique, so it can be different. So I love when I have those prom clients who come to me and say, can you change it up or allow me the creative freedom that most designers want. But so prom seasons, to me, that's the most fashionable time of the year and the busiest time of the year. So if you want a prom dress made by me, I would suggest that you start now and book now, because the thing about it is, what I don't like is sometimes you have the high school seniors, they'll come to me like a month before their prom. It happens all the time.
Right,
so,
like no.
Depending on the outfit, I'll take it if it's not too intricate. Like something I can do, like, okay, I can do this in a week's time. It's not a problem. But it's better to book early than late. Like, I love the prom clients who come to me and they book like at least 3 months in advance.
Right.
Because they're securing their spot. Where if you come to me a week, I might not be able to do it in a week before your prom.
Right. Absolutely. Kenya, are your prices negotiable?
Are they negotiable to a certain extent? You're not gonna get a $300 dress from me. That's just.
And why not? What can I get for $300?
You and that, unless you are a close friend.
I gotta be a close friend to get a
You're not gonna. I mean, it depends on the dress. It depends. If it's a very simple dress. But see, the thing about it with the reason why my prices aren't negotiable, and this is why I find it, or not as negotiable. First of all, I always ask, what's your budget? If you're telling me you want something that it requires a lot of hand extension, you want rhinestones, you want a long train, you want this really expensive fabric, you're not going to get a dress for $300. It's just not going to happen. You're going to more so closer to $1,000. And why? Because when you get a dress, when you're purchasing a custom made dress, you're paying for the fabric and you're paying for my time. Fabric and my time. See, and fabric, when it comes to prom or any evening wear, bridal wear, that fabric is expensive. And more than likely, you need a lot of it. And I don't get cheap fabric. I always look for the best quality fabric.
As you should, because these are your designs at the end of the day. And you know what people need to think about when they come to you and want a dress for $300? Be like, can you break that $300 into hourly, right? So if it takes you 4 to 6 weeks to make said dress, how much is that per hour? Girl, it don't even add up to minimum wage. You like, that's what you expect me to work for?
For me to do a dress for $300, a gown to $300. And the only reason why I say $300 because you do have people who that's what they want to pay. I know it's crazy, but they really do want to pay that.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that.
It's fine, but I'm not the one to make it for you. It's not. And the thing about it is, if you come to me, I would have to literally be able to make that dress in 5 hours.
Right. And then that's a $300 dress.
Right. That's a $300. If I can't make it within a time frame in 1 day.
In 1 day.
There's no way you can. Right. And so if I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, this right here, it's got too many parts. It's a dart. It's a seam. Then I got to do the hand stitching. No way in the world. No way. I can't do it in 3 hours. 3 to 5 hours.
Right. So,
yeah, but if it's a bodycon dress and you just want me to add a train to it, then maybe so.
Right. Then maybe so. We can do that. You can do that.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So, what would make you turn down a client?
Oh. Okay. Well, if you come to me at the last minute, that will. Yeah. If I'm overbooked, yeah. Or if I have too much on my plate, I will turn you down. If we've had a consultation and you wait too long to get back to me, I have to tell you, and I'm booked, and I have so many other projects. I'm turning you down. I find that people that I've turned down or maybe cancel their order is usually when we get a little into the process and I realize like, okay, this person is a difficult person to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Then I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go any further with this, but it all depends.
Would you refund their money? So I know the process a little, it's a lot of appointments where they have to come to fit-ins, and now what if that client is missing appointments, canceling fit-ins? Now they're prolonging the process, but then also rushing you to meet this deadline after they were tardy. They didn't show up. They missed the first.
Oh, I'm very good. No, the communication. If I'm calling you at least 2-3 times for fittings. I'm really good on it. So
individual fittings.
Individual fittings. So if you're missing fittings, and let's say it's a week before or a week of, and I've had this happen, a week of your delivery date for the dress, so you need that dress, and you tell me, and I haven't fit you, I'm like, I can't guarantee that this dress is going to fit once you get it. I tell these people that because you have to come for fittings. You got to come for at least 2 fittings.
Right.
And if it's times where I get super busy and I have to give that person their garment maybe the day before their event, but I'm going to communicate that with you. Or at all times. I'm going to let you know, like, okay, I need a couple more days, but if we've done the process, you've gotten the fittings, you've done everything you're supposed to do, then it's easier. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you're not coming to fittings, no.
You just want to get a dress. Like,
I'll do it, but I'm like, I can't guarantee how this is going to fit you if you're not coming to fittings, And if I give it to you, it's going to be completed. I'm not going to give you anything. If it's the week of the event and you need it, I'm going to complete it and I'm going to give it to you. But if you haven't made any fittings, then I can't guarantee that it's going how it's going to look. I just can't. And
Correct.
I'll tell you.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you make them sign something, or that's already a part of your contract?
Yeah, I make them sign that they have to attend at least one fitting.
Okay.
Right. And
And
I don't do if they want a refund or cancellation, they have to have they will have to either cancel their dress or the garment before I purchase the material. Once I purchase the material, I call you or I inform you the material has been purchased, and you no longer can receive a refund.
right.
Right. So.
Okay. Because
Mhm.
you have those clients who, they have the amnesia. They don't know where they put that agreement that you made them sign. They want you to work miracles after they didn't own up to their part of what they need to do to complete this garment so that it's finished, it fits, it's fabulous, and everybody's asking who made it to then trigger some new business for you.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Okay. So, what is the worst client experience you've ever had?
Tasha. I was the person is not on here listening.
No, you know what? You don't have to name names. Just share one of the worst. You know what? But if they had a bad experience, why would they be on here? Obviously, they loved your business. I mean,
Girl, let me
your
tell
work.
you, child, I had this individual. Everything was going well up until the day after their event, and
Oh,
I found it. I told you about it,
yes.
and and it wasn't. It didn't have to do with the dress itself or the dresses that I made them
Okay.
itself. It was just the whole experience. They weren't pleased with the customer service. They weren't pleased with. They felt like I was unprofessional. But what blindsided me, and this is my fault, and if there are any designers or business owners here listening, it's so important to remain professional with your clients. And I didn't do that.
Yes.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
This person was super, super, super nice. So I thought we had a friend connection,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't turn out to be that way. So,
Okay.
once they were dissatisfied with their product or the customer service, they no longer wanted to be friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of blindsided. I don't know if I was hurt. I was just a little blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did this come from? All out of the blue. And I guess I probably wasn't hurt because I just met the individual.
Uh-huh.
But I would say that's probably one of no. This is the worst one I had.
Well, you got another story? Okay.
But
Segue
this
into
happened a long time ago. This actually happened before I think I was like 21, 22. And this is
okay.
when I started making clothing. And
In the beginning.
I was so inexperienced. So inexperienced. Child, this particular individual, I made them a wedding dress and I made their bridal party a dress. Each individual a dress. And girl, I didn't have no experience at all. I should
Wait.
not have taken this client. So this particular dress, I charged them $400
Uh-huh.
to make this dress. And I think her bridesmaids, I think $75 a piece. This was years, at
Wait, how
least
many dresses did you make?
it was at least 5 dresses plus the wedding dress. Girl, they and the
Yeah.
only reason why I can talk about it is because I've learned from the experience, and this was years ago. Girl,
Yes. What
they were
happened?
so disappointing, and I did not. I mean, I didn't do a horrible job, but I didn't do a good job. And when it comes to weddings, brides are very particular about their stuff. They want everything perfect. So when it comes to
Yes.
weddings, but I didn't have the experience. I just was like, and then the lady, of course, the young lady, she went with me because I was charging $400 for a dress. Like, who gets a
That's
wedding?
why.
Exactly. So she went with me. So I mean, when I say I had no experience at all. Child, why they locked me up in their house?
What? Wait a minute. You were
And
held
they was like,
captive?
you cannot leave until you fix these dresses. Girl.
Oh.
Yes. It was like a hostage
You
situation.
want to get Brooklyn on them? What happened? What happened?
Girl, you know I was a punk back then. So anyway.
Ooh.
So yes, I mean it can't happen now, but then I was like, oh, and I'm always the type of person who I'm quick to take accountability, period.
Right.
And they were showing me like, oh, this is not right, this is not right, this we need this done, we need it. And this was like I think 2 days before her wedding. Yeah, girl. So
Oh my.
finally, so they finally released me. And they wanted their money back. And my mother-in-law, my in-laws, thank God, my in-laws, I love them. They got together and they got some money and they helped me give her. It was like $800, but back then that was a lot of money.
Right.
And she kept the dresses though. She kept her wedding dress.
Of course.
Because when she gonna get it, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but she kept her dress. So nonetheless, so they gave her the money. My mother-in-law, the next day, drove me back to the house. My mother-in-law, she don't play anyway. So she came up in there like, what was wrong with these dresses? I seen Kenya work. It's good. I know there was nothing wrong with these dresses. They was like, well, no. So I guess they felt threatened by their presence because they probably was like her presence. So they probably was like, oh, she bought somebody. So they all of them came down. Like it was our family full of Caribbean people. They all come down. I mean, and I love Caribbean people, so I ain't trying to say nothing against them. But they're all coming down the house, all of them. So I guess they felt like my mother-in-law was a threat because she was, I was like so timid, and my mother-in-law was like, listen.
She was turned up.
Because they weren't going to give me the dresses back. And my mother was like, well, listen, we give you the money, but you got to give us the dresses back.
Yes, you don't get to keep them. Yes, and get your money back.
Yeah, she said, Kenya, because all they was going to do is fix them dresses up and wear them dresses. So
and that's what they was going to do. Right.
Exactly. She was like, listen, where's the dresses? So they put the dresses in the bag and they gave it to her. But that was the worst experience. And I was like 22, 23.
Oh my gosh.
It could have went ugly. It could have went because the uncle was already threatening me. The bride's uncle was like, if it was me, I would slap you. He was
what? You would have me to call back then and be like, yeah, you ain't girl, I was girl. I was like, yeah, he was like, honey.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, girl, it was that was the worst experience.
Yes, that is the worst experience.
It was so bad that I did not want to, for some time, make another thing. That's how bad it was.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so you felt defeated?
I felt defeated for a very long time, to the point where I didn't even pursue my passion anymore. I had to stop for some time, which that didn't last long. As you can see.
How long? What helped you get your mojo back? Like after that traumatic experience, because that sounds traumatic. Like, were you there for like 24 hours, 48 hours, sewing until like?
It was a long time. I remember going home that morning. I was home that morning.
Like, no, get the fuck out of here. We would have been fighting. They would have had to jump me. I'm calling my sister. I'm calling my people. Nancy on speed dial. She was like, what? Yeah, listen.
Yes, honey. See, I didn't. I felt I was a punk. Let's just put it that way. I was just a punk. I was a punk.
Ownership. Yeah.
I mean, because even still now, like, if somebody wants their money back, like, I'm like, and I've given them their money back. Like, for instance, with the COVID that came up, I had a couple of clients who canceled, so I felt obligated to give them their money back because it was COVID. So I gave them a substantial amount. Right. So things like that come up. So, or either I'll be like, oh, I just don't feel like being bothered. Let me give them half of their money back or whatever. But this particular situation, it was bad. And the reason why it was bad, not so much because my life was threatened. It was threatened. Yeah. But it also threatened my dream. You know, it also, it killed, it was like Satan literally tried to steal my dream.
Right.
And, you know, thank God for just being a Christian and just spiritual advice from my pastor and at the time, my first lady at the time, who I used to work with, who were also entrepreneurs. It helped me to kind of say, you know what, I need to go and pursue my dream. And I couldn't let it, when you are passionate about something, it's okay, Tasha.
Well, I'm like, we were doing so good. You know, the devil is a liar, honey. We start talking scripture, and they're like,
Right. Let me step in here, right?
Right.
Yeah, so,
Jesus, take the wheel. Take the soul machine, rather.
So yeah, that was probably the worst situation. Yeah.
Okay. So what can we expect from you in 2023 as an entrepreneur?
Well, I'm definitely going to put out like a small line of I don't want to say, well, inexpensive,
Affordable?
affordable. Yeah, there you go. Affordable evening wear that I'm starting now. I'm starting actually designing now. I'm going to have my website up probably by the end of the year. Yeah, and just pretty much more of me. You know what I'm saying? Like less of just like I've already decided that I'm not going to accept I'm not going to make any designs that aren't mine. I've already decided. That.
So I can't bring a picture from Instagram and be like, can you make that?
Absolutely. Tasha, stop. You please. You never. Tasha, first of all, you come with your design. Like, listen, I want this. Can you put a wing here?
Listen.
Can you make this out of vinyl? Stop, Tasha.
As a designer, you can attest to it being very like mundane when people keep coming with their inspiration that they've seen online. And it's like, why don't you just buy that online? And the reason why you can't buy it online is because number one, always they've already ordered it and it's so cheap, so like horribly made that now they need to come to someone that does custom designs to now make a replica. And you just like, boo-boo, this ain't mine. This ain't my aesthetic. I don't like, if you want to see interest, you got to go elsewhere to make you a dupe from Instagram. Like I am an evening wear designer. I create from right?
Exactly. And I feel like I have the talent. I feel like I'm very talented as far as designing. You know, I have my own aesthetic, not everybody else. And that's what people want when it comes to designing. You want something different. You don't want something everybody else has. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. And also too, I'm going to, the line that I am creating, the affordable, is going to be made to order. So basically,
I love that for you.
Yeah, made to order. So if you just come to me and you pick your size, if you want a custom size, you let me know and I'll make it for you. Also too, I have a couple of fashion shows. Well, I have one fashion show coming up. And
tell us about it.
That's Connecticut Fashion Week. I believe it's their first. But it's around Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. I just realized that because I was trying to do some other fashion shows, and I'm like, okay.
You need a trunk show for those new affordable evening gowns that are made to order, honey.
You are right. This is true. And also, too, what I have decided to do is that I'm just showing up everywhere. Like next week, I'm at this. As a matter of fact, let me tell you guys about it.
Yeah,
next Saturday in Brooklyn, and it's in my link. I mean, the link is in my bio. I'm going to be showcasing at just a small event for women's empowerment. Um, I'm celebrating, also not celebrating, recognizing breast cancer survivors and domestic abuse survivors as well.
Okay.
So it's just it's a small event, but you know what? It's fine because what I realized in my business that wherever there's women at, I need to show up. I might not get all women, but at least if I could get that one woman, one
Right.
person, you know
Right.
what I'm saying, who can, who's interested, or maybe they know somebody else who's interested. I have to get my name out there. So that's what's happening this Saturday coming up, not tomorrow, next Saturday coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's a brunch, empowerment brunch, at 12 o'clock. The link is in my bio if you wish to register to come out. I know there is a fee of $25 to attend. I will be showcasing my affordable evening wear. So
I love that for you. Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
So it's not a trunk show, but I got to get some prospects, Tasha. So whatever
Well,
prospects I get,
whatever process you need
we
to
can have a
get
trunk
you
show.
there, it's about not losing the momentum, staying the course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And and today I was on somebody else's lives. I joined them and I said we need to be excited about the follow through, right? Because often we
Absolutely.
have
Great
these
starter.
ideas, we
Great
start,
starter.
we stop, and you like, what happened? I was so excited, but I'm not excited about the follow through. And that
Right.
looks completely different, honey. Um, what's your experience been like with your family and friends supporting your business?
Listen.
It's an honest question. That response is so honest because yes, yes.
So as far as my family and I don't have a whole bunch of friends. So the
Hmm.
ones who are my friends do support me. So
Okay.
thank God for that. As far as my family is concerned, I might have had maybe one, two individuals that I made anything for, and maybe one, two, maybe three individuals, and they have paid me for my services.
Okay.
But I've gotten over it. Like I'm over trying to get support from my family, my friends, because one thing I realized they're not my customers, and they support me in other areas. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they
Right.
will tell me, like, my friends and my family, they might refer somebody to me.
Hmm.
Um, they might encourage me, but I'm over that. Like, oh, my family, my friends don't support me. Listen, then maybe they're not there. They're not there to, I don't expect them or obligate them to support me in my business. You know,
Hmm.
when they support me in other areas, I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? As
Right.
long as they're not dogging me out, saying what you doing, you
Uh-huh.
vibing, that's
Talking
different.
bad about your service.
Right.
Right.
Like
Right.
they have negative comments, they're keeping it to themselves. That's fine. I'm good
Mhm.
with that. But then I do have family and I have friends who will refer me to other people. Um yeah, but I I don't allow the lack of support, if there is any, to slow me down. And I remember that at a time in my life where it was very important that they did support me, but I believe it was more so because my love language is affirmation.
Uh-huh.
So when I hear, I've always wanted to be like, oh, you did a good job, or I like what you did, that to me is important. But when I don't get that, I'm good. I'm also good. It
Mhm.
doesn't, whether they say I'm excellent or the best designer in the world, they say I'm just crappy. I can't allow them, I can't allow their opinion to, or anyone's opinion to
Mhm.
deter me from what I'm doing, because we're in a world where everyone has an opinion, and you can't
Right.
keep those opinions. You got to move past that. You know what I'm saying?
Brush it
Yeah.
right on off. Yes.
Right. I think the
Yes.
most people, to me, most importantly, the only person that I really need and want and get support from is my husband. You know what I'm saying? I have people in my life who support me, but it's very important that he supports me, because
Mhm.
we work as a team. He owns
Right.
his business, I own my business. So if he doesn't support me and I don't support him, then it's a little hard to kind of move,
Right.
you know.
You guys can't move together in unison
Exactly.
towards whatever you're working towards if you don't have the support from your spouse. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Oh my gosh, honey. So what are some of the challenges? No, sorry, I think I asked you that already. Share with us how they can book your services again.
Oh,
How
okay.
can somebody connect with you to get a custom made prom dress, evening gown, mother of the bride dress, or wedding dress?
Okay, so what they can do is they can email me at contact@georgiastitch.org and just tell me set up an appointment, or also on my Instagram page I have a form that can be filled out if they want to set up an appointment, and I'll get back to them as well. They can also DM me at on Instagram at underscore Georgia Stitch if they wish as well, and get in contact with me. And we can set up a consultation. I no longer do free consultations. Consultations are $25.
Mhm.
So, and during the consultation, that's when we'll discuss your design and also determine the price.
How
So,
long is the consultation for?
30 minutes.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. So
Right.
consultations are not free, customers. It's $25 for half an hour. You get
Yeah.
to talk about the date of your event, the type of dress you want,
Right.
and take it from there.
Yeah.
Um, what are three things that you would like to start doing to improve your business?
Three things. Number one, put up my website.
Uh-huh.
um, Number two, do more networking. Because that's very important. You could have a business, but if no one knows about it, you don't have a business. So
It's a hobby, right? Then it's
it,
just a hobby.
it yeah. So which I don't like to say that, but it is true. But if nobody, you need to bring in new business. So that's for me. I have to bring in new business because
Constantly. Hmm.
especially when it comes to evening wear, because that's usually a one and done. You know,
Uh,
it's not something that people need, not unless you have a client. I have some clients who go to events on a constant basis, but most people it's just one time,
mhm.
like a prom one time, wedding one time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, definitely a lot of networking or more networking. And three, what would be the third thing? Hmm. Oh, hire some help. Yeah.
Oh, so would that be an intern or you really want to like hire you an
Well,
apprentice?
I definitely want to get an intern, and also as business increases and as I get more orders, I definitely would hire a seamstress to produce it to help out. This way, I won't have to turn down orders because then I have somebody
Mhm.
to help me make it. So yeah, but
Okay.
hmm
I love all of those things, and you know I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'll be like, listen, girlfriend, what's on your calendar? How many networking events have you attended?
oh,
Like,
Jesus. Sasha,
what-
you ain't got to worry about it.
all right now, because you already know I'm gonna ask you, be like, oh,
Yeah.
is the calendar booked? Right.
Yeah.
Good, good. Because again, that's, like being excited about the follow through. Like, I think oftentimes as entrepreneurs too, we know exactly what we need to do. And sometimes you don't have that help. Sometimes it's just like you in the beginning, from the ground, starting everything. Like, I am the administrator, I am the marketer,
Everything.
I
Yeah,
am the CEO.
everything. Yes, yeah, everything. Yeah, but that's part of it. And I think as far as creatives are concerned, we would prefer just to do the creating part. But if you're going to be a creative and a business owner together, you have to do the business part. You have to
Hmm.
establish systems where, I mean, I'm in the process of establishing systems. So maybe one day that's all I do is do the creative part. But until then, I have to do the other part, and it's a lot because the time that you put into making a custom made garment, then you have the other time that you have to do admin, you have to do bookkeeping, you have to do marketing, you have to social media marketing, you have to
Right.
network. Yeah, so it's a lot, but it's important and it's necessary.
Yes. And I feel like if you have that calendar, plan everything out accordingly, it can be done. Of course, you can't fill up every day, every moment
Absolutely.
doing these things because you're going to burn out so damn quick.
Absolutely. Right, right,
Okay.
absolutely. Right, yeah.
That's not
Time
what we
management is
need.
very important. Yeah,
Time
time
management.
management. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I believe in starting small and then it grows. Like if I'm only going to 2 networking events for the entire month of November, that's great. Guess what I did
Right,
last month? I went to
right.
0. So 2 is a
Right,
plus, right?
exactly. Exactly. You build on that. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Build on that.
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's all
Mhm.
about building and growing and being excited about the follow through. So, as a married woman, how do you balance work and your personal life? And you're
Um,
also a mom too, but most importantly, the marriage.
okay. So, that's a good question.
Thank
It
you.
you gotta just gotta be intentional and spending time with each other because now, as a business owner, I know people's like, oh, you have a lot of time in your hand. No, you don't. You don't.
Who was
And
that?
sometimes
Who
you
was
have
that?
too much. Yeah, you have people on these infomercials have all the time, free time in the world. From what?
Right,
Where did I get that from?
right.
No, no. So, and then we're both in business, so we have to be intentional about our time.
Mhm.
And then we have children, and our children, because our children are on the spectrum, so a lot of times when they get home, it's not any free time that we do have is usually before they get to before they come home from school.
Mhm.
That's pretty much our free time. So if we want, like, if we have a date or whatever, we want to go on a date or something, in the evening, we have to make sure we get a babysitter and things of that.
Mhm.
We have to be very intentional because if not, and I think that's with all marriages, you have to be intentional because the life will take over. You know,
Right.
everything that you have to do, even if you're not a business owner, it'll take over. You know, so you have to be intentional about your relationship. That's important to a marriage. Marriage is work, period.
Mhm.
Any relationship is work. But when
Right.
you get married, it's like you said, well, this marriage, this particular relationship, I'm going to commit to spend time or make it work. You know, that's
Mhm.
the difference than maybe your boyfriend or whatever, you know, or just some random person that you're dating or whatever.
Right.
When
Right.
you're saying, I'm committing to making this relationship work because it's work. So, yeah,
Mhm.
so basically just being intentional about our romance and the
And
time we do.
that's good advice. Yeah, that's really good advice because I feel like sometimes when you're business driven, the romance take a back seat and you forget about like being intentional with our love, still
Right,
being in love, making
right.
time for each other, like
Mhm.
those dates, those luncheons, and you don't want everything to be business driven. Every time I talk to you, it's just about business. Every
Right.
time I see you, it's about like, oh, real quick, you could come to this business luncheon, but you like, this is not time for you and I. So sometimes that can cause conflict and issues as well if you're
Absolutely.
not being intentional with separating the two and making time for each other. Very important
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
for the couples out there. Well, Miss Kenya, we only have a few minutes left. I just want to say thank you so much for
Okay.
being a
Thank
sponsor
you.
and
You're
always believing
welcome.
in my vision and supporting
Yes,
me.
absolutely. Always. Listen, I'm going in my piggy bank. You know, I said, let me go in there. You know, you got that big old water cooler piggy.
Be like,
What
how
you
much
need? I'm
you
thinking
need?
about baby, what you need?
Let me help you out real quick with my kitty money. Because you
Yeah,
know how I spoke about me just sharing with you how I wanted to start this podcast like a
right.
few years back. And I was just like, you know what? Not now, not now. And I would talk myself out of it. And I was like, you know what? This just feels good. It's now. I'm just going to go for it. And I
Right.
think it's therapeutic for me. I love just hanging with my friends, getting everybody's perspective. Um, Thanks for all the support, truly. And of course, I'm going to keep rocking out and supporting your business, whether you are a sponsor or not, because that's just what I do. You know, I'm
Right.
always
Yes.
here for the fellow.
Very supportive. Always been supportive. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You my sister in fashion. You already know that.
Yes. No, but
So,
thanks for having me, Tasha. Thank you for just giving me the opportunity to, be a sponsor of this baby that you have. That's really, it's in the beginning stages and you're doing so well. I'm very proud of you, and I only wish all the blessings that God has for you.
thank you, girlfriend.
Yes. So yeah, you're doing big things, girl. Yes.
Thank you. Listen, I'm trying. I'm trying. And just think, like, it's almost going to be a year, right? Like, I'm like, I did it.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you're doing
Look
it.
at me. I did it. I'm
Exactly.
doing and doing.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love it for myself. Yes. So, lastly, one more time, I just want to tell everybody to follow my sponsor at Georgia Stitch. If you have any special occasions coming up, you need a custom gown, mother of the bride, you are a guest at a wedding, you just want to look better than everybody else, you want to hit up Georgia Stitch. It's
Yes.
your 40th birthday. You want to hit up Georgia Stitch as well.
Yes.
Please don't bring her no inspiration from Instagram, in
Stop.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it, because why? She is going to give you a design from Georgia Stitch, I'm sorry. That's what she's going to do. A custom
Absolutely.
design specifically
Exactly.
for your body.
Right. Exactly.
You have it.
Okay.
So
Yes. Okay.
can't wait to see the collection. I'm super excited. Can't wait to check it out on your website. So again, just tell them where they can find you, and if they want your services, what they need to do to contact you.
Okay, great. So, like I said, you can go on Instagram, at Georgia Stitch, at underscore Georgia Stitch. If you need something, you can actually click the email button and just email your information, your inquiries, the date of your event, whatever it is that you need from me in regards to receiving a custom made garment. Shoot me an email, or you can DM me as well. Also, you can email me at contact@georgiastitch.org. And if you're free next Saturday, I am showcasing at a women's brunch, empowerment brunch. If you go to my Instagram page, the link will be in my bio to purchase or to register. The registration is free. However, you do have to purchase a ticket for $25. And I don't think that's not a lot of money for some people.
No, that's a good donation.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, right. So if you want to see, just get a sneak preview of my affordable evening wear line, this is a time you can join me on Saturday.
And last but not least, for all my teenagers out there, if any parents is on here with teenage daughters that are seniors, prom season is coming up.
Yes.
And you want to contact Kenya sooner rather than later. Prom season, and you'll see that flyer posted everywhere. It's on my feed. I'll be posting it until prom season is over. Sounds
And
good?
also, too, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, if you book with me a prom, if you have a prom student, any prom high school student, prom clients, if you book with me before the end of the weekend, I will give you a 20% off on your order. So if you book with me a consultation, you will get 20% off your order for your prom. So anyone who has a high school senior out there who needs a prom dress, this is the time. And this is only
You
for this
heard
weekend.
it here. You heard it here on the Now What podcast.
Yes,
Now
Now What
Life in your
right.
40s.
Right.
Just for this weekend. So you better tell a friend, and be like, hit
Right.
up.
Yeah, exactly. And make sure they mention we will refer to the Now What podcast, and then I'll know that you're the person who received the discount. So yeah, 20% off, and that's significant. It really is.
Hell
Especially
yeah.
if you want a $2,000 prom dress. That's really significant.
Listen, prom night is like a little mini wedding
What?
reception, honey.
What? Yes, yes.
It's
And we
all
just opened up. So, it's like last year you didn't have as many proms. This year I'm expecting a whole bunch of proms because, yeah, COVID, well, the pandemic and the shutdown is over. So, yeah.
right.
So.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So right before we get cut off, if you know of any high school students who are graduating in 2023 that would like a custom prom dress made, you want to tell them this weekend only they can receive 20% off their order if they mention the Now What podcast. So run, tell that, spread that word because that is a
Absolutely.
big deal. Big deal.
Yeah.
So tell a few friends and tell a few friends. Kenya, it's all coming back to you 10 times. You're going to be so booked and busy.
I receive it.
Boom, boom, boom. All that gorgeousness. So I appreciate you. And I'll see you soon when I come to Brooklyn. Until then, I will be promoting Georgia Stitch.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you for everything, Tasha.
Bye.
Bye.